But I will tell you two more stories that I find very interesting from Myanmar about monks and ladies. So in one of these stories, a monk fell in love, I think, with the yes. So the king, he had a daughter, so princess, and this princess was so knowledgeable in Dhamma that she taught monks Dhamma. But because she was so beautiful as well, she had to be covered by a curtain when she taught the Dhamma. So the student monks, they would come to the class and they would not see the princess. She would teach them the Dhamma, and then they maybe would like write some notes and so on, and they would go. But one of those monks was wondering, wow, this lady has such a nice voice. How does she look like? And then he had, he made a kind of like trick where he told the lady a question and then she answered, and again he told a question. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but in the end he said, well, if that is true, come out and show us. And in the end she forgot. She really went out and she showed herself to the monks. And this monk, of course, immediately fell in love with her. After he fell in love with her, he then asked the king, that he would like to get married. And the king and the queen, who were very good supporters of this monk, they said, we will allow you to marry this daughter, to marry our daughter, if you write, he had to write a book about Abhidhamma or some big book. Then he wrote it. He really wrote it. It was published, and then he married the princess. So that was one case. Now that was, we would say, from the Buddhist point of view, unsuccessful. So he did not like stay as the monk. Then the other one, which was successful, which I find really, really interesting, that was the case of one of my most favorite masters. I think that was the Tokhaung Sayadaw, one of my, again, favorite arahants in the Buddhist history. So he studied the scriptures and so on. And then he announced to, I think, to his friend monk, he said that maybe he would like to disrobe and he would like to get married. And, usually when a monk tells this to one person, that goes like a wildfire. It's super fast. So the king and queen who supported this monk, they found out as well. And so the queen, she decided, she prepared 20 royal ladies. She prepared 20 royal ladies. And she invited this monk, to the palace. And she says, "Venerable sir, here you have 20 royal ladies. Choose one of them to be your wife. And we will also give you a great treasure of a lot of money. But if you choose one of these ladies and you take all of this, money and jewels and things that we want to prepare for you, you can go and everything is fine, but you cannot return to this palace anymore in your life." And he said nothing. He said nothing. He did not select anything. He just left. He went directly to the forest. He meditated there and became an arahant. Sometimes the situation is really difficult. Like there is a case of a monk who he wrote a book, like a large book. I worry that he actually broke a copyright, like seriously, because I know exactly that same book. It's a dictionary, and he like wrote it the same way, except he changed a few letters in that dictionary to make it like a modern writing style. It's in Burmese. I think it's actually Pali Burmese dictionary. It's a pretty thick and famous Pali Burmese dictionary, but the original is famous. He made basically a copy of that, just improving a little bit the letters. He also passed a very very impressive examination of Pali scriptures. And then at one point he thought he needs to find a woman, to get married. So he disrobed, he became a layperson. And then soon after that, he went across the road. And if I remember well, he was hit by a car, and he died on the spot. So he died as a layperson while he was searching for a woman. This is really not successful. Then another case, very interesting. So it seems like there's something else in play, It seems like what's going on. And in the second case, that was in Thailand. This one was in Myanmar. In Thailand, there was another case, very interesting, when a monk, lives in the forest monastery, and he meets with a lady in the village. And this lady, she comes up to him, and he really appreciates her, and so on. But he feels that he has this so much of desire to live with her, and she also wants to live with him. That he becomes a layperson, and so on. So his friends in the monastery, or his master, they suggest, you know what? Because he really feels so confused. Like, what should he do? Should he be monk or layperson, or what to do with this woman? She's coming and she wants to get married with him. So the master said, you know what? Secretly leave from this monastery to a different monastery far away. So the monk left from the monastery, and he traveled to a monastery far away. And several days, maybe even the same day when he arrived there, the woman was there also. And that was too much to him. So he disrobed and he married